All right, good morning. Welcome back. The time is 6:16 on your Wednesday morning. Hurricane season is quickly approaching, so now is the time to start preparing. That's why local emergency managers and leaders across the region will be meeting at the Coastal Bend Hurricane Conference, which kicks off today. Joining us this morning is David Lawson, Business Continuity Manager with Texas Windstorm Insurance Association. Good morning, David.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us so early this morning. I know you're going to be at the conference later on today, but we wanted to bring you on here to talk a little bit about the upcoming hurricane season, because I know there's a lot of new people in town and also people who haven't been through a hurricane in the Coastal Bend for quite some time. So what should homeowners be thinking right now when we talk about hurricane season approaching?
So as we get closer to that June 1st kind of point, I think the best thing for not just our policyholders, but homeowners in general in the Coastal Bend, sit down with your agent. Now's the time to find 30 minutes in your day and talk through how you can set your policy up to fit you and your family's needs. And I think the first thing to really do is to have an understanding of what your deductible is. So Texas Windstorm is a little bit different, and it works differently than, let's say, your health insurance deductible or your auto deductible. So instead of kind of pulling down bit by bit, it happens as basically a percentage of the total amount of insurance that you carry. So let's say you have $1,000 or $100,000 worth of insurance, you have a 2% deductible. Your deductible is going to be $2,000. And the way that that's accounted for, so let's say you have a claim, we put together an estimate, we're going to take $2,000 out of that estimate to account for that. And so that is going to basically be your part of that claim, and anything beyond that $2,000 is what you're going to get paid out. So there's kind of two ways that the deductible interacts with your policy. For me, one of the big things that I'm focused on for this year, for my personal family, is I need to free up some capital. So what I've done is I've increased my deductible, and what that done is kind of lowered the premium that I'm paying every year. But I also have the understanding on the back end of this, when it's time for claim, I'm going to have to come up with a little bit more money. So I'm having to put together a plan for me and my family to ensure that if I have a hailstorm come through, heck, I had a tornado about, I think, last week come a half mile from my house. So it is really important that you are setting the expectation for you and your family to really set yourself up for success. And outside of that, we're a bare bones policy. As the provider, the last resort for a lot of homeowners here, we have to have a bare bones policy. We're not trying to compete in the market, but we do have some additions to your policy that you can ensure is there to help with things like additional living cost after a hurricane. So let's say that your home is not tenable anymore. You got a tree through the roof, something like that. There's an endorsement, something that you can add to your policy that'll help you with the amount of money that you're going to have to take on for the hotels, the additional food costs. So there's ways that you can manipulate and work with your policy to set up your claim the way that it's best for you and your family. If it's best for you to have that lower deductible so that when it does come claim time, hey, I don't have to come out with that much out of pocket. And so having the expectation and just knowing that this is there is probably that first step in preparing you and your family for a successful recovery. And it's a reminder that, this is just a small piece of the recovery. Usually our policyholders down here, let's say you live in Port Aransas or over in Portland or Ingleside by the Bay, if you are one of our people, you likely have 3 policies. You have a flood insurance policy, you have your homeowners in policy for fire, theft, things like that, and then you have your wind and hail policy. All of those have different deductibles, premiums, and so this is a big strain on the communities here. And so, ensuring that every year you're shopping around, you're checking to see, hey, are there other private options that I have? You don't hear a company say this a lot, but we have a healthier market when there are more people writing insurance on the Texas coast, and that risk is spread out. So I really encourage folks, again, sit down with your agent once a year, talk through, are there companies that are writing in my area? If I live on the north side of Corpus, maybe towards Robstown, is there somebody that can provide me with that wind and hail so I can bundle that all in one spot?
David, thank you so much. We just only have a few more seconds. So if people want to find out more information, where can they go? So
definitely ask to go to twia.org. And I think the big thing for folks to know is that is going to be the fastest way to file your claim is through our policyholder portal. You sign up, you can pay for your policy, you can deal with your renewals, and then you can file your claim. And that's going to go directly to our folks. You can send us pictures, you can send us your estimate. And that's going to, again, set you up for success so that we can get that money out to you, and we can get tarps off roofs, we can get the boards off the windows, and we can get people back in their home working and getting this community back up and running.
David, thank you so much. There will be more of this on 3 News Plus, but for now, thank you so much for coming in, and be sure to check out that website. Okay, let's talk about the weather too, because we